Over here, Initiate.
I'm sorry, sir, I tried, but no one here is willing to enlist.
Unacceptable, Captain. Either deliver me recruits or deliver me your resignation.
What will I do now? Without the Shornhelm Guard, I'm nothing. I told the General I'm a soldier, not a recruiter. But now I'm to be discharged if I fail? It's not right. I've tried to do my duty, but I can't force people to enlist. Not a single one. Montclair's war has decimated our ranks, and people now see enlisting in the Guard as a foolhardy proposition. I have a few prospects, but they seem to have no sense of duty. I don't know. Maybe my manner is just too harsh. Certainly. I have one prospect who should be simple. Martin Datu. He's in the stocks for Mara's sake, but I can get him released if he enlists. When I spoke to him, however, he was stubborn and rude. Perhaps you could talk to him? I've already spoken with the constable, and he agreed to release Martin if the young man will enlist. I simply can't understand why a criminal would choose the stocks over doing his duty for his kingdom. Because Rivenspire is a mess. Blood fiends roam across the land. Montclair loyalists attack our towns. Need I say more? Yes, but this? Let's face it, this new civil war has taken its toll.
Frankly, I'm surprised the Shornhelm Guard is willing to take on such riffraff. If Martin doesn't take the deal Captain Thayer's offering, he deserves to rot in the stocks. For dull-wittedness, if nothing else.
If you come to poke fun at the prisoner, you'd better think twice. I'll be out of these stocks soon. And then you'll have to watch your back. They may not have enough evidence to hold me, but that doesn't mean I'm not a dangerous criminal. They say I broke into Gerion's ironworks and robbed the place during the night, but they haven't got any proof. Besides, my friend is going to come forward and vouch for me. I was at his house drinking mead all night. And get myself killed? I can't do that. My father went back to the dirt 15 years ago, and my family needs me around. My mother would fall to pieces, and my sister doesn't make enough coin to support herself, let alone the both of them.
Huh! Can you believe that? I heard what Martin said. He's either completely delusional or incredibly naive. He's been a troublemaker all his life, and he's not getting out of those stocks anytime soon. We have enough. We found his boot prints in the mud outside the broken window. He was involved. I'm not sure he was alone, but he was there. In fact, that friend of his, that Olivier, I suspect he may have helped with the robbery. And that's the thing. Olivier said he didn't see Martin at all that night. Some friend, huh? If they weren't such amateurs, though, I don't think the constable would have made the deal with Captain Thayer.
Welcome to the Dusklight Inn. Not exactly the lap of luxury, but we try to make our customers comfortable. The cost of a room's cheap, and if you're as broke as I am, that's all that matters. What? You mean because Martin's in the stocks? I don't know if I'd say that makes things harder. Wait, did Martin say something to you? I'd rather not discuss this. Our family's finances really aren't anyone's business but our own. Really? Well, the truth is that Martin's only ever been a drain on our family's resources. His big ideas never amount to a hill of beans. I wouldn't tell him, but the best thing he could do is enlist. We could really use another steady income now.
I got what you need.
Another distraction.
Ah, an adventurer. Always so inspiring to have someone like you around town. I hope my son Martin would take up an exciting profession like that. But I'm beginning to think the poor boy just doesn't have it in him. He worries me sick, you know. No, I'm afraid the opposite is true. He's never had a good role model, you know. His dear father was King Rancer's most trusted general. He died up at Trader's Tor. They say he died a dishonorable death. It's a shame we'll never know the truth. I do. Martin's always been ashamed. Every chance he's had to make something of himself, he's shied away from it for fear that he would fail, like his father did. If he knew his father died honorably, I think it would inspire him. I worry that if he enlists just to get out of trouble, that would be the wrong reason. If someone could tell Martin that his father died a hero, that would inspire him to follow in his father's footsteps, to join and fight with honor. He did? You know this for certain? I can't tell you how much that warms an old woman's heart. I always knew he died honorably. Martin, though, he was ashamed. You should go and tell him. He needs to know the truth about his father. Woe and ruin.
Let's drink to the ladies.
Why will you not listen, beef-witted beast? Must I tie a torch to your tail again to teach you? Stupid horse. Does not even know how to do what he is told. I have a good mind just to feed the stupid thing to the dogs. You mean you would actually trade me that for this unworthy beast? If you're willing to do that, you're as dumb as the damn horse. What will you do with him? He's only good for hauling heavy loads, and he's not even much good for that. Ha! You're as crazy as that dog-loving boy Handre. This horse does not want to be free. He would not even know what to do. I will trade with you, but no taking it back. You will feel like a fool when the stupid thing just stands there. Fadil, what are you doing? Wait, no. Come back here, you stupid beast. I cannot believe it. He understood you and he just ran away.
I saw you over there at the stocks talking to Martin. Does that fool still think I'm coming to his rescue? He's like a babe in the woods. I told him not to wear those fancy boots. It's not my fault he wouldn't listen. Yeah, so what? I wasn't dumb enough to leave any proof for that constable to find, so I'm in the clear. And don't expect me to risk my neck sticking it out to vouch for Martin. As far as I'm concerned, he's better off in the stocks. Wait! No, please! Please don't! I'd go mad in the stocks! Look, I don't know how to sell these stolen goods anyway. How about this? I'll just leave them on the constable's doorstep tomorrow morning. That will clear Martin's name. Is that enough?
They are going to release me, aren't they? Has Olivier really not come forward? He will. I know he will. Why? Olivier's not going to vouch for me, is he? That backstabbing arsehole. I can't enlist, though. I just can't. I'm just not cut out to be a soldier. And my mother and my sister need me here. You know about my father? You mean, you were there, weren't you? He did die with honor, didn't he? I don't know. Perhaps you're right. Maybe I was born to be a soldier, and I've just been running from my destiny. All right, I'll enlist.
So, you were able to talk some sense into Martin? I'm glad. You did a good thing. Not many people would take the time to help a common criminal like Martin Datu.
You've certainly done your due diligence. I really appreciate the efforts, but I had a feeling it wouldn't work. Some people just have no sense of duty, and I guess Martin falls into that category. You did? Excellent. I don't know what you said to him, but I don't care. It's my duty to get new recruits, and you helped me fulfill it. Thank you. I'll have the deputy release him, and we'll get him whipped into shape in no time. You really have the knack for this. While I'm getting Martin released, I wonder, would you be at all open to taking a crack at another one of my stubborn prospects? Her name's Suga. She's got a mouth on her, but she'd make a good soldier. She wouldn't admit it, but I think she's some kind of bandit, and that's why she doesn't think much of the Shorenhelm Guard. She called me some rather rude names. In fact, I lost my temper, but you have more patience. If it was up to me, no. But our numbers are low and we can't be picky. Besides, I'd rather risk the life of a bandit in battle than some poor girl who's never even swung a sword. If you're willing to speak to Suga, she's over by the ironworks.
I hear old Afrin's hold is no longer haunted. That was you. You have my thanks.
Damn trash, that's all it is. Let it be known that Jaren's ironworks sells nothing but dung. They call them swords, but you can't get an edge on one of these blades to save your life. Even the Shorenhelm guards got better steel than this. Oh no, not another one. What's it take to be a recruiter? The inability to understand verbal language? If you want me to write it down for you, I can carve it on your arse. I already told that old sow, Thayer, I'd eat dung before joining the Guard. Bunch of elf-loving weaklings that run around Rivenspire getting kicked in the arse. People I run with, they eat members of the Shorenhelm Guard for breakfast. You look tougher than your average guard, but my boyfriend would wipe the dirt with you. Ha! You want to bet on how long you'll last, or whether you just turn tail the moment you see him? Nah, this could be fun though. Beat my boyfriend, I'll enlist. If he beats you, well, he'll just take your gear and leave your corpse in the road. Just take the road south out of town. That's where we do our business. Don't worry about finding Goveled. He'll find you. Oh, and don't expect a formal challenge. Just be ready to fight. I'll be here if you decide you're too much of a coward.
I could use a break.
Merchants to the great houses.
What have I gotten myself into? If I get killed in battle, it's on your head.
How vile. Is that a piece of Govolid's brain on your boot? What are you, some kind of monster? Only joking around, of course. You beat him, huh? I'm impressed. Nah, that's what that bastard deserves for sneaking around behind my back with that little Bosmer wench. I knocked her off myself. Nope, I haven't got any hard feelings. In fact, I'd say that was the easiest breakup ever. I suppose so. Govolid's gone, and to be honest, I was pretty sick of sitting around down there by the road and hassling people for a handful of coins. I'll give the guard a try. You can tell Captain Thayer I'll come around soon.
Oh well, it was worth a try. I knew she was something of a long shot with an attitude like that. I'd probably have been forced to beat her down every other day just to keep her in line. Maybe it's better that she won't enlist. You did? Being Argonian's aunt, I really didn't think you could pull that off. You missed your calling, my friend. You should have been a recruiter. You can't seem to fail. While we're waiting for Shugo to finally get here, what do you say to taking on the most unlikely prospect of the bunch? If you can recruit this young man, I'll eat my dagger. He's awkward. Julien Riziol, that's his name. He seems like a sharp young man and he's had a little training. The problem is that Julien is more interested in chasing girls than glory. Some might even say he's pathetic, but he is a prospect. I don't know. I tried to tell him that no girl can resist a man with a few scars, but that didn't seem to sway him. Unfortunately, I lost my patience after that, and now he won't even come near me. If anyone can convince him, though, it's you.
I've been watching you. Going around town, cleaning up the mess that beastly soldier woman created by offending everyone. You must have a golden tongue, getting folks to enlist after that. You won't persuade me, though. I can't leave town. Not now. Because I'm close. I've been courting Gwendolyn for 3 years, and I think I'm finally close to winning her heart. If I leave town now, by the time I get back, she'd probably have married someone else. I couldn't live with that. That would make everything perfect. If I had her love, I could enlist and fight with the strength of 10 soldiers. It's not going to happen, though. It's going to take something special to win her heart. And I haven't a clue as to what that is. Good luck with that. I've been trying to figure her out for years now. I think maybe she just enjoys playing with my emotions. If you can help me win her heart, though, I'll enlist. I'll do anything you want, in fact.
Don't get me wrong. You're very attractive, and I'm sure you're very nice. But I'm not seeing any new suitors. I have my hands full already with that pathetic young man you probably saw standing around outside. It's not that I don't like him. He's brave, kind, and handsome. He's perfectly acceptable. He's just not very exciting. I don't know that I love him. I'm not even sure he loves me. I keep trying to tell him. It's just some childish infatuation. I don't know. I want the feeling from the storybooks. I want my skin to flush and my heart to quicken. I want butterflies in my stomach and to be unsure whether to laugh or cry. Julian just makes me bored. Someone in town has to be more romantic.
The constable and I are taking bets on how long before Martin annoys an officer and winds up back in the stocks. I really do wish him the best, but my gold's on 2 weeks. Why? Are you looking to court my sister too? Suitors have been lining up for months. That Julianne is the worst. I'd be happy to see her wed almost anyone but him. Wait a moment. You're not asking on Julian's behalf, are you? Oh. Well, in that case, I know. Tell Julian to give her some flowers. She loves flowers. If anything will win my sister over, it's a beautiful bouquet of fragrant flowers.
I've decided to make this a personal challenge. I'm going to turn things around for the Shornhelm Guard. They'll be the most feared outfit in all the Covenant by next year. You can bet on it.
Not now, friend, please. Not now. We have so much work to do, and I'm not sure how we'll get it all done. You mean that stuck-up woman who lives across the way? I know she's been turning suitors away for months. I think she's waiting for someone with big coffers. Someone who can buy her fancy jewelry and such. Me? I don't think she's worth it.
We don't like trouble here.
If that Captain Thayer comes around here again, someone's going to get hurt. That wench called me a coward, because I prefer to work here rather than join the Shornhelm Guard. Sense of duty? That's a pile of guardung. Not much. She's a pretty girl, but I think it's gone to her head. She does have a heart, though. She's always at the inn whenever there's a minstrel in town. I think she has a taste for poetry.
I'm tired of trying to convince people to buy my wares. I'm just gonna lay it out here, and you can tell me if you see anything you want. You should definitely buy something, though. I mean it.
I've been thinking. Gwendolyn says I don't really love her. It's just some kind of silly infatuation. I think I need to make a grand gesture to prove my love to her. Something spectacular to show her how I really feel. Something romantic, something unique. I know. A bouquet of rare flowers, though I'd need help picking them. Or I could serenade her with a poem. Of course, I don't know any poems. Or maybe a beautiful necklace. What do you think? I think so too. I noticed her flirting with a minstrel once. She practically swooned whenever he opened his mouth. Anyhow, now we just need a poem. Surely someone around here knows some poetry. Find a good poem, and I'll serenade Gwen with my love.
We'll get this again tomorrow.
Only the finest wares here.
Just resting the legs for a few minutes here and letting my friends graze. No matter how bad things get, I'm always grateful that I have work that I love. It's not everyone who finds their true calling. I'm a cattle wrangler. I ride around these parts watching people's herds. I've been working for the Edralds for most of the last few years. I just came up here to track down a few bulls that had managed to wander off. Oh, of course! I love poems. They're very personal, though. You have to write them from your heart. I have some amazing ones, but I wouldn't feel comfortable sharing them. You should write one yourself. Everyone should.
In the springtime so fair, the ladies sow the seed. When harvest rolls around, I'm still drinking mead. Are you jesting? I'm an expert. I won last year's poetry joust in Orsinium. I know every poem ever written in all of Orc history. All 12 of them. By heart, too. Oh, again with the jests. I wrote the best love poem ever. Makes all the ladies fall madly in lust. I mean love. I could recite it for you, but I'll do you one better. I'll write it down. Here.
Nobody cares at all.
I would stand here and drink myself to death, but I can't even afford to do that. My mother told me that if I became a poet, I would starve to death. When I wrote a book, I thought I had proven her wrong, but it's come to nothing. Yes, for whatever that's worth. I haven't had a decent meal in more than a week. Who wants to buy a book of silly love poems while the countryside is ravaged by civil war? You will? Really? That's so good of you! A patron of the arts and a poet's savior you are. I can't thank you enough. You just saved my life. And more importantly, you saved my art.
Did you hear? Martin decided to enlist. Though I will worry for his safety, I really do think this is the best thing for him. And for all of us. I don't know if you had a hand in this, but if you did, thank you.
God of schemes consumed
I assume you've heard that Martin enlisted in the Shornhelm Guard. I'm glad, but I do worry for his safety. I hope he enlisted for the right reasons.
So much to do, so little time.
The more I think about this poetry idea, the more I like it. It's the perfect way to show Gwendolyn both the strength of my mind and the depth of my passion. I think I'll call her outside and serenade her in front of the whole town. Well, no, I was planning how I was going to do it, not what I was going to say. I thought you were handling that part. Do you find anyone in town who knows anything about poetry? What a fancy book. Look at the leather cover and the gilded pages. Gwendolyn's sure to be won over by one of these poems. Come on, let's go over and I'll read one of these poems to her. Fair Gwendolyn, come forth and hear my words of love!
This should be interesting.
I look to the firmament and 13 constellations do I see, but even the stars look dark and lonely without thee.
But in your eyes, there is enough light to guide me through any night. Oh, Julian, that's my favorite poem. We were meant for each other. I love you, and I will wait for you.
I go to war now, my love, but when I return, we shall be married. It worked. Can you believe it? She said that she loves me, and she says she'll wait for me. I never thought it was possible. I'm so happy I could take a nap. All this wooing has made me really tired. And I will. Napping will have to wait. Honestly, I'm proud to go fight for the kingdom now. I'll fight for Gwendolyn's sake and for the sake of our future. You can go and tell Captain Thayer I'm coming. I'll be there as soon as I can.
Who would have guessed that Julian and I would end up together? When he spoke those words, I understood what love truly is.
Why are women so complicated? It's maddening. Maddening!
Don't feel bad. I knew Julian was a hopeless case. A man who's sick in love is a sad man indeed. I feel sorry for him, really. Enlisting would have probably helped set him straight. I can't believe it. I said I was going to eat my dagger, didn't I? I hope you'll let me off on that one. I'm really embarrassed. Here, I couldn't manage to get a single recruit, and you come behind me and get 3. None that are worth our time. And I'll have my hands full whipping these 3 into shape anyhow. The General's jaw's going to hit the dirt when I march them in. I'll tell him I had help, of course. I don't want him assigning me this duty again. All right, recruits. Fall in. I want to see the prettiest march to Shornhelm in history.
You stomp around like a wounded guar. Do you want the enemy to eat us? Get down, you fool! Do you want the blood fiends to see us? Now hush! Hush! Medusa needs her ears right now. No, wait. Strike that. Let's talk. You can help, Medusa, yes? What kind of help? The helpful kind, of course. I meant to arrive before evil invaded this hamlet, find Constable Maldred, and provide what help I could. But this one was detained, and the constable is nowhere to be seen. Moira's hope is lost. Patience. Medusa will explain. The survivors, they are our priority. We move together to... No, too obvious. We move separately, draw less attention that way. Medusa noticed a few survivors headed toward the large barn in the distance. Meet me there. You go first, then Medusa shall sneak off. Less chance of both of us getting captured by these cursed creatures that way. If you must, but hurry, please. Survivors have a terrible habit of becoming dead when they are left unattended. Must Medusa explain everything? Look around. The people of Moira's Hope were either turned into blood fiends or turned into food for blood fiends. Now, as to the who and the why of this horror, Medusa cannot say. Not is, was. This was the peaceful hamlet of Moira's Hope. Now it is a disaster area. Someone who wishes she had arrived in time to divert this tragedy. But if wishes were fishes, Medusa would be a very happy cat. This one is here to help. Now please, the survivors need us.
You with this sword! I mean it!
Calm down, Shaveskin. Your courage is commendable, but highly misplaced. We are here to help.
And how am I supposed to trust you?
This one could have overpowered you at any time. Now stand down, or Adusa will stick that sword where the bright moons never shine.
What? How dare you? Oh, very well. I'll just go and sit down or something.
Mortals, show a little concern, and this is the thanks you get. And where is the constable? Why isn't he here? But that is a mystery for another time. The survivors are our priority. Still, these vampires, they are most unusual. Such precision, such coordination. Rarely have I seen vampires behave like an army instead of raiders. This wasn't an incursion. It was an occupation. We must work quickly. It won't take long for the enemy to discover our presence. You ask many questions, like a young one who has eaten too much moon sugar. Constable Maldred is a friend, a trusted contact. We have worked together in the past. And speaking of work, don't you have some survivors to save? You stay here and guard these townsfolk. I'll go search for more survivors. No, no. Reverse that. Better for you to search and Adusa to stay here. Watch for signs of the constable. I will try to learn more about our enemy while you are gone. That is what I am, yes? Surely you have learned by now that not every vampire is a monster. Adusa hopes that this doesn't make you uncomfortable. We still have survivors that need our assistance.
I'm not sure how we managed to survive. It was so horrible. But since we're still alive, maybe there's some hope left in Moira after all. Maybe there are others out there. I don't know. It all happened so quickly. I came back from gathering wood, and the town was under attack. A few of us ran and hid in the barn. I saw so many of my friends. Some changed. Some were just torn apart. What? Oh, the others. If anyone else was able to escape those terrible claws, fangs... I don't know. Maybe in some of the ruined houses. But why they haven't come to search the barn yet? How long can our luck hold out?
My sister-in-law just lost her husband, my brother. We're both really shaken up. But I have to stay strong for her. I just wish she'd say something. She hasn't said a word since it happened. Dirt-eating, oblivion-worshipping, blood-sucking vampires. That's what happened here. They marched into town and people began changing. They became monsters. We either turned into blood fiends or got ripped apart by blood fiends. It was horrible.
I know how to deal with your kind. Come any closer and this goes straight into your heart. I'm perfectly safe right where I am, thank you very much. I've got a sharp blade and plenty of food. I'm downright cozy. But those bloodsuckers turn the townsfolk into their feral pets. Absolutely depressing. Divines take them all. There are other survivors? Why didn't you say so? I'll follow you, but we need to be very careful. These creatures aren't like any vampires I ever read or heard stories about. They're like a Divine's damned army.
Come on, let's have at it. I'd rather die fighting than get turned into one of your pitiful creatures. Well, that's a relief. I thought for sure you were going to kill me. I just wish you had gotten here in time to save my father. They called her Larea. She demanded that we line up to receive her blessing. That's what she called it, her blessing. My father was one of the first to step forward and tell her what to do with her blessing. She ripped out his throat. Of course, you're right. I know you're right. Lead the way.
Divine, save me! Please, I'll join your army. Really, I will. Just don't kill me. Oh, you're not one of them, are you? Thank the Divines. They just marched into town like they owned the place. That cold, horrible woman. She whispered something to the soldier, and people began to change. The woman made a strange gesture, and townsfolk began turning into blood fiends. And she just walked away and let her companions... They were so fast, so strong. They started tearing people apart. Anyone who didn't change was attacked. Other survivors? I did dare hope. All right, lead the way.
I'll let you handle this one. I'll take the next. We showed them.
You will fall to Adusa's terribly swift blades. Oh, it's just you. Never mind then. While you were gone, we had a few visitors. Nothing Adusa couldn't handle, of course, but we shouldn't linger in this place much longer. Yes, Adusa noticed. Fewer than I hoped, but more than I expected. Meanwhile, this one learned that the vampires left a commander here. He's up in the house, atop the hill. Moira's hope can never recover while he controls the town. Militant vampires require structure. Why is that so surprising? But we have more pressing matters. I will get the survivors out of town. You must deal with the vampire commander. Meet us on the road when the deed is done.
I admit that I didn't trust the Khajiit at first, but she certainly helped us a lot today. I guess you really can't judge a book by its cover.
I saw that vampire in action. He's extremely deadly. You're going to have a real battle on your hands when you get up to the house.
Are you really going out there? To confront the vampire commander? You are so brave.
The Khajiit wants us to leave? Abandon Moira's hope? I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Really going out there? To confront the vampire commander? So brave.
By the look on your face, Adusa assumes you were successful? The vampire commander is dead, yes? Maldred? That's the name of the... No. That unclawed traitor! Adusa only wishes she had been the one to end him. You did well, Five Claw. Adusa will see that these people reach a safe haven. Then I have business of my own to attend to. There is something sinister going on in Rivenspire, Five Claw. Keep your wits about you, and stay fragrant. What you saw here is only the beginning. Adusa will take the survivors to Hoarfrost Downs. They should be safe enough there. Pardon, but this one is still coming to grips with how fast the Blood Fiends were created, and with the Constable's betrayal. Yes. Word of what happened here must be carried to my master, Count Verandis. There is much work to be done, and very little time if Lorea has truly ventured this far south. Typically, a vampire degenerates over time, eventually withering into a mindless blood fiend. The process we observed in Moira's Hope was quite the opposite. The blood curse appeared to change its victims into blood fiends almost immediately.
Moira's hope may be lost, but we'll survive. And we'll remember what you did for us today, my friend. You can count on that.
Thanks to you, we're alive! I hope that's the last I ever see of vampires and blood fiends.
Now that I'm safe, all I can think about is what comes next. Moira's Hope is the only place I've ever known.
My poor husband. I miss him so much. But I still have family. We'll put this nightmare behind us. Somehow.
We're going to try to put this behind us, to start over. But we'll never forget the friends and family we lost. Never.
I'm not going to leave Moira's Hope to those monsters. I promise you, we're going back home. Someday.
Chance to surrender. Surrender to your devil. These mortals are strong, but not strong enough.